Hey everybody, welcome back to Steve's Small Engine Saloon. Man, do we have a treat for you today. We have a special guest star on the show. She is an actor, she's a writer, she's a director, she's a producer, and just recently I found out she is one hell of an awesome singer and a little bit of a chainsaw mechanic. Most of you are going to recognize this lady as Sarah Tancredi from Prison Break, Lori Grimes from The Walking Dead, Katie Bowman from Colony, Robin Perry from Council of Dads. She co-starred with Nicolas Cage in a movie called Pay the Ghost, for crying out loud. And much more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to Steve's Small Engine Saloon, Sarah Wayne Callies. Hey! Awesome! Oh, okay, calm down. Yeah.
Hi, YouTube.
Aloha!
Aloha. Thank you for having me.
Oh, Sarah, you know, I have to tell you this right off the bat. I know what a busy lady you are. You have a husband, you have children, your career is still just exploding. And yet you have taken the time out to be here today. I can't thank you enough.
I'm super grateful to you for having me. Nothing matters more than community.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the same community, man. That matters.
Yeah, well, yeah, we are, aren't we?
Yep.
You know what? It is Steve's Small Engine, a saloon. So, do you drink beer?
I've been known to have a beer periodically. I'm more of a cider girl myself, but I can...
Cider?
Yeah.
Well, aren't you lucky? I just happen to have some Lucky Lager in stock for you today.
Like I said, I prefer a lager to anything else.
That's what she said. That's what I heard.
That's the most important thing, is a lager.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Here's how.
So, Sarah, you heard me say at the beginning of the video there about you being an awesome singer. I watched a YouTube video about a week ago with Sarah singing a Bob Dylan song.
Oh.
What was the title?
Yeah, was that To Make You Feel My Love?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, although probably a lot of people think of that as an Adele song because she covered it, and I think a lot of people are in the generation where that's the first place they heard it.
And then you covered it.
I don't know if that was a cover or more like just something kind of fun. It was from my high school alumni association situation, but it was fun.
So it was clearly filmed in Hawaii when you look at that.
Yeah, it was filmed on the banyan tree, which was on the playground of the school where I was, grade 1 through 4. And the gentleman playing the guitar was my high school boyfriend.
No
An amazing
way.
guitar player, Kurt Kamiya, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would it be okay with you if I put a link right underneath this video?
Hey,
Is that
if
cool?
it's cool with Bob Dylan, it's cool with me.
Right on. So there you go. There's a link under there. I'll call it Sarah singing something simple like that.
Oh, that's a lot of S's. Well done. Sarah singing something simple. Strongbow.
Say that 4 times in a row really fast.
I can't.
I have learned that you are not in front of the camera anymore. You're behind the camera. Can you tell everybody out there what you're doing now? Why are you behind the camera? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I've spent my COVID directing. I've been directing on The Good Doctor. I've been directing a show called Family Law, which is a Canadian show. I'm about to go do a couple episodes of Firefly Lane. It's cool. I spent 20 years trying to figure out how to be an actor, and now I get to kind of work with other actors to help them figure out how to do their best work.
Yeah.
I also wrote and created this scripted podcast and kind of wrote and directed that thing.
Well, let's talk about that podcast too.
Have you heard it?
Yes, I have.
Have you really?
Yes, I have.
That is so sweet of you.
Do you know, driving up to Campbell River one day, turned the radio off and I started listening to Sarah's podcast. What's the name of your podcast?
It's called Aftershock.
Yep. And I got to tell you, Sarah, I started listening to it because I was like, what is this podcast? There's no video.
Nope.
There's no video. You're just listening to the audio.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, within 60 seconds of the first episode, you had me hooked.
Really?
You absolutely. I was just like, wow, what's going on? Because my imagination takes over. You don't need video on a podcast.
Well, I mean, I think in some ways, for the kind of things that we're asking people to imagine, your imagination is going to make the most extraordinary experience for you, right? Because your imagination is going to come up with what scares you and what's personal to you.
Yeah.
And there's no way I'd ever have the budget to do it in real life.
Yeah.
You know, it would just be too expensive.
And what did you do? You wrote it, directed it?
Yep. Wrote it, directed it, acted in it, produced it, cast it. You know,
Wow.
podcasting's, I mean, it's kind of like what you do, right? Like you are your own writer, director, producer, editor, star, like the whole thing. It's, you know, I think it has to do with kind of taking control of the narrative a little bit. And if you want to tell the stories you want to do, you want to put out the content you want to put out, just go ahead and do it. It's kind of, in some ways, it's like when two people read the same book. They visualize two different things, right? It's very similar to that.
It's visualizing what's in your head.
Yep, exactly. You give your eyes a rest.
I love it.
Let your ears do the work. Yeah.
So where can somebody listen to your podcast?
Anywhere. We're on iTunes. We're on the iHeart app. We're on Spotify. Any place you can get a podcast, you can get our podcast. And I'm actually currently writing the second season.
The second season, because I've listened to 6 episodes.
Yep, there's 10 in season 1.
Oh, is there really?
Yep, there's 10
I thought there were
episodes.
6. I've only heard 6. So I guess I got 4 more to go.
I mean, there's no pressure. You do not have to you don't have to finish it out. It's fine. But yeah, there's 10 in season 1, and so I'm writing the second season right now.
So I says to Sarah, I says, "Hey Sarah, how about a chainsaw video?" And
I said, I've never used a chainsaw.
yeah, she pretty much said, "Giddy up, let's do that." But she's going to learn something new here today.
Yeah.
But I am not going to do that. I am not going to fix this. Sarah is going to fix this because she does know how to do this part, and it's a general maintenance kind of tip for you on a chainsaw that's very important for you to do. So I have this chainsaw right here.
Okay.
And let's have a look at this. See how dry this chain is?
Yep.
It is like bone dry. There is no oil on it at all.
None.
Yeah.
And that's bad.
And that is bad. This thing has been ran dry with no oil in it. And I think I do know what the problem is. We're going to take this apart right now. And we're going to check it out and see what happens. But Sarah, I can't help notice your fingernails. Did you just get a manicure?
The last manicure I had was the day I got married, I think, which is quite a long time
You know
ago.
what? It doesn't matter.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, wear those because this is it's not a dirty job, but you're gonna have to be cleaning your fingernails if you don't wear those.
Plus, I'm enough of an idiot I could cut myself on this.
And you know what? That's a really good point too. That's why I didn't get you the surgical gloves, the plastic ones, because a chain can still cut you through that. But these ones are pretty good protection right there. Okay, so
this is good, by the way. My husband's been trying to get me to learn how to use a chainsaw for a long time.
you know what? He told me that.
Did he? Is that what I'm doing here? He set me up. Fair enough.
Exactly.
That's totally
Well, he
fair
didn't set you up.
Here's the thing. I got married so that I wouldn't have to do my own chainsawing. But then Josh pointed out that, like, if I'm going to be a ferocious feminist, someday he could be off, doing something else. And something needs to be chainsawed. There's like a windstorm that happens a lot out here.
Yes, and then one day you're going to have to start up a chainsaw and everything
100%.
yourself.
If Rosie the Riveter can build planes, I can chainsaw trees.
Well, I've been to your house a few times.
Yeah.
You weren't there, but when I went over to help Josh a couple times, I'm not supposed to say Josh.
That's all right. You can say Josh. We know his name.
Well, just in case you don't know who Josh is Sarah's bodyguard.
And for people who've seen Colony, this is not Josh Holloway. This is Josh, my husband. Josh.
Yeah, exactly.
Different. I don't know if Josh Holloway can use a chainsaw. I bet he can.
I would certainly hope so.
I bet he can.
I think so.
It fits the image.
I'll email him. I'll ask him if he can.
Cool, you got it.
Maybe he'll want to come on the show next week.
I don't know if he's in the country.
Yeah, I guarantee he's not in the country.
Yeah, those travel restrictions are serious right now. Okay.
Okay,
So-
I'll just zip this off.
Okay. Okay, so you've taught me this is the bar that's coming off, and this is the chain that goes around the bar.
That's right. So the reason this bar and this chain is so dry is because if we take this off.
Oh wait, you showed me this. Can I guess?
Yeah.
And you can tell me if I'm right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said that right here, show folks here, right here, there's a little port where the oil comes out. Okay. So this is where the oil comes out that
That's
lubricates the bar so that the chain that runs along the bar is sufficiently, and it has enough oil on it.
That's right.
Otherwise,
you see what you just did there? Look at this. This is all tight, and this is terrible. This chainsaw has not been maintained for a very long time. That's
by the way, this is not my chainsaw. No blame.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not your chainsaw either.
It's not.
You would never treat a chainsaw like this.
That's
okay,
true.
so we want a chain that's nice and smooth and slippy so that it doesn't catch and it does its job.
Exactly. You see what you're doing there? It's all tight and everything.
Yeah.
That's from lack of lubrication.
Okay.
So you're absolutely right.
By the way, there's like 9 jokes I just didn't make. You're welcome. Okay. Go on.
I was thinking the same thing. I almost said that's what she said, but
I'm not going there. No, I'm a classy lady.
I'm way too professional to be going there.
We're way too professional to be going there.
Yeah.
So.
And then the oil. You're absolutely right. The oil squirts out of that hole and goes right into that hole right there.
Here.
Right into this little hole. See how wow, I can't even see it on this side.
Yeah, I don't see one.
It's so plugged. There it is on that side.
Oh,
right there.
this guy here.
That little hole right there.
Okay, well,
see,
that's
it's
your problem.
completely plugged. So there is no way for the oil to get out of the chainsaw and squirt into the side of that bar to fill the channel up, the groove, so the chain can actually pull it around and lubricate that.
And now, is it chainsaw oil that you put in there?
It's chainsaw oil, yeah. There's
go into your hardware store, you say, I need chainsaw oil.
Absolutely. No, because they might think that you are saying chain mix oil that you mix in with your fuel. This is bar and chain oil is what's happening here.
Bar and chain oil. Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing is even if that hole is plugged, so that's a big reason right there. But check this out.
Oh yeah, you said the bar can get plugged too, right?
The actual bar itself.
Okay.
Yeah, you got gloves on. You can hold that.
I got this.
This is what I use. You can use all kinds of things for cleaning the bar out.
Okay.
You can use like little scrapers, all kinds of stuff.
Cool.
Little tiny little screwdrivers.
Yeah.
This works great for me.
What is this? Some kind of tool.
Yeah, that's this is kind of a multi-purpose tool.
Oh, it's got
you can do your rakers and stuff on there and file your chain with that. But that little thing right there works great for scraping the bar out.
Now, and here's another tip that you told me earlier, right? You said that up here are the ball bearings, is that right?
That's right.
So when we're cleaning it, we want these at this side and clean away from them so we don't gum up the works, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So she's going to scrape that down.
Oh my gosh, it's really stuck.
I know, this is a really bad
Nasty!
bar. I know.
Nasty, bad chainsaw owner.
You know what you could do? You could actually hold it up on end, so you're pushing onto the bench.
Is that better?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Yep. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Gross.
So Sarah's doing this absolutely properly. She's scraping it away from the roller nose because the bearing's in there. If you scrape it the other way, you're kind of pushing all that debris and everything into the bearings. And what she's doing is getting it away from the bearings and scraping that whole groove out.
Oh, it's just coming and coming and coming a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. It's easier now.
Yeah.
And we got to do the other side, right, when this is done?
Yeah. You know,
so what is this?
You
This is
don't
just
have to.
dried oil?
So look at this. Look what she just scraped out of this bar.
Well,
this is disgusting.
A mess.
This is chain oil and sawdust and mud and all kinds of stuff that she's scraping out of that bar. And what that does is it hinders the chain oil from circulating through that groove to actually lubricate the bar and chain properly.
And that will, you told me that will wear out your bar and your chain, which means you get to spend a fortune buying new ones, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, let's not spend a fortune.
Check
the
this
economy's
out.
tough. Okay, let's see.
This one right here.
Yep.
That bar right there. See how it's purple
Yep.
and blue right here?
Yeah, it's like it's been burned.
It's been burned bad. That is because somebody was running this with not adequate lubrication.
See? You get burned without adequate lubrication.
And that wears your bar out.
You can write your own jokes for that one, kids.
Exactly.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You get distracted.
No, I love it. So when you have
rainbow.
something like that with your bar, where it burns it that bad, it'll also widen the groove, and then your chain gets floppy in there and everything.
Oh.
So what you're doing by not having adequate lubrication on your bar and chain, you're destroying the bar and the chain.
It feels like a safety hazard too, hey? If it widens that gap so that the chain's wobbling.
I can't believe you just said that. You're absolutely right.
Well, I mean,
That is 100% common sense, right?
That's what's always scared me about a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Right? So let me tell you, Mr. Simonelli, my shop teacher, when I was 11, he would start every class. He'd say, I've got all 10 of these. And I want all 10 of these by the end.
Yeah.
And my fear is that if I use a chainsaw, I'm not going to have all 10 of these.
Chainsaws are freaking dangerous.
They're freaking dangerous.
Man, they're dangerous. I know. That and hedge trimmers. Hedge trimmers scare the crap out of me. Oh my.
Electric ones?
Even electric ones, because they got the
Yeah.
teeth, right? Oh, they just scare me so bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it feels like probably a part of making sure that your chainsaw is safe is proper maintenance, right? How often should people be doing this?
I would say anytime you have your bar off, go ahead and do what she's doing, because what she's doing right now is a build up over a very long time. If you do this every time you have your bar off, it's going to take like seconds to just scrape that out. Yeah.
So this shouldn't be a big job.
It should not be a big job. This one is because it's
super
been
nasty.
it's
Look,
super
it's
nasty.
still coming out. Okay.
Yeah. So
Alright,
you know what?
so-
So that whole groove, that channel is clean now.
Yep. Channel's
And the oil can circulate around there now.
cool. Great.
And let's go back to that hole.
Oh, we gotta
hole-
clean this.
Exactly. If the whole channel can be clean, but if that little hole, there you go.
I feel
Exactly.
like- do we need something smaller? 'Cause
Well,
this is
you
like
know
a
what?
pin.
Sometimes, sometimes.
Whoa. That
Something
looks
like
dangerous.
that. But look at, see this bar right here?
Yep.
That's got a big hole. That would
Oh,
work.
that's a lot easier.
That would work on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Some holes are
For sure.
on different bars, are different sizes.
Again, write your own jokes. Keep it clean, kids. It's a family show. Steve's small engine repair has now been banned in 15 countries. But not Canada. We don't do that here. We don't do that here, folks. All right.
So there you go. So
there we go.
Now the holes are clean, so the oil can get into the bar.
Yep.
The channel, the groove is clean, so the oil can travel along that bar now.
And we can have a healthy
When the
chainsaw.
chain's going. Exactly. Yeah.
So
So nice job. Now there is one other thing.
I got to put the chain back on.
One more thing before we do that.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
You know what that little hole's for, don't you?
Oh, there's additional. You put oil in there for the ball bearings up here, so
Yeah.
that they stay nice and
Yeah.
easy.
It's it's grease and a little grease gun like this.
Yep.
I'll put a link underneath this channel if you guys want any of this stuff. I'll put some links under there. Simple.
Grease gun.
Do it.
Bloop, bloop.
Push that grease.
How do I push it down?
Yes, push her down. You'll feel it.
Oh,
Boom.
yep, there
See
we
that?
go.
See what happened?
Little dabble do ya.
You just squished a whole bunch of grease. Now feel that now. Feel that roller.
Oh wow, you can see
Feel
that.
You can feel that. It's greasy
Yep,
now. It's
you
not
sure
just
can.
rolling.
Right.
So you just lubricated.
And
grease.
it's uniform action.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
stuttering.
So that's another thing that you should do when you have that off.
Yep.
But here's another thing. Here's another thing. We're almost done. Look at this. Here's a steel bar made by Stihl.
There isn't one there.
No holes.
No holes.
Stihl stopped putting the grease holes on their roller noses, on their bars, because they said that if you do what Sarah just did, clean that groove out, make sure your bar holes are clean and the bar is getting adequate lubrication, that is adequate enough to travel up and lubricate those bearings
I see.
all on its own. You don't need grease. So
Okay.
Stihl doesn't even put that grease hole in there anymore.
Which maybe makes it even more important that you clean.
Absolutely.
Clean the whole
Very
thing.
important. If you got no grease hole up there at all on a steel bar, you have to really take care of your bar. Otherwise, it's going to cost you money. These are not cheap.
No. I've never
That bar right there, well, in Canada where we live, that bar right there is probably $80. So you melt that bar. A chain is like $25, $30.
Yeah, you got to take care of your investment.
It's just general maintenance. Absolutely, 100%.
Take care of what you got. Yeah. Don't mind.
No, you can keep those. You can have those.
Aw, thanks.
I bought those especially for you.
Thank you. They're much nicer gloves than I have at home.
Look at this pile. Look at that pile of stuff.
Pile of nastiness.
All over that bar, and that's why that bar is...
toast.
It's close.
Can you bring it back to life?
You can. There's some things that you got to do, but that's another video.
Gotcha.
That's another video.
Fair enough. That's the one you'll do with Josh Holloway.
Yeah, keep that one. That would be cool.
Fair enough.
So, Sarah, I know you're a huge social media girl. You're all over social media.
Well,
where can people find you on social media, and how do they do it, and what do they do?
Instagram is kind of the thing for me. That's the sort of primary situation. It's just my name.
That's your baby?
That's it's my baby. My babies are my babies. But social media, it's interesting. As you've found, right? It's an important part of what we do.
Yeah.
And it's a way that you can communicate directly with the people that you're talking to, which is kind of great. So Instagram's the way I mostly do that. I'm on Twitter a little bit.
So, check that out. We're almost done here.
I got one question for you.
Uh-oh. Okay, what?
I feel like the people need to know. No, I'm curious, because chainsaws are intimidating to me. Clearly, they're second nature to you.
Yeah.
What was the first time that you used a chainsaw? Did you, grow up with one in your hands? You were, 4 years old, bucking up trees, or,
You know what? I can't believe you just asked me that question. I did not know she was going to ask me that question, I swear.
Does this involve an arrest?
No,
Okay.
It doesn't involve me being in handcuffs at all.
Good.
But close. No, it wasn't close. When I was very young, I want to say 10 years old.
Okay.
10 years old. My dad and my grandpa were out cutting up firewood out in the bush somewhere. And it was like, nobody taught me how to use a chainsaw. And how stupid are parents when they don't... Here, Steve.
They just gave it to you?
Fire it up and start cutting wood. And
Stop it. They just handed you a chainsaw.
To this day, I am blown away by this. I'm not even sure if my family knows this, but this is 100% true.
Your mom is watching this right now, and she's about to murder your father.
my grandpa Bruce was out there, and he was older at that time. And I'm cutting a piece of wood, and the chain's still running, and I turned around to say something to him, and I went like this, and it hit his pants, and it ripped a big strip right out of his pants.
Oh my God.
No safety chaps back then. This was like 1980, probably.
So,
cut a big piece out of his pants. It didn't hit his leg, but boy, did he jump. And I jumped, and I just went, oh, and he was just like, oh.
And Grandpa Bruce learned his lesson about handing a 10-year-old a chainsaw with a safety lesson.
Exactly.
Grandpa Bruce, I'm glad you survived.
You know what? I have not thought about that for years. I can't believe that just came back to me as soon as you asked me that question. It was just like, boom, that happened to me.
So, parents, teach your kids chainsaw safety.
I think I don't think that happens nowadays because
I don't think they give 10-year-olds chainsaws.
Parents aren't that stupid anymore. A little bit. You're not. You're a parent.
Well,
you're not going to hand Oaks a chainsaw and say, here you go.
No, but I'm a grown woman and I still don't know how to use a chainsaw because I'm too intimidated. And I think that's stupid. Yeah. I live someplace, look, most of my heat comes from trees that come down in my woods. I can buck them up with an axe and a maul, but I don't know how to chainsaw the thing. So I will fix that. I will learn how to use a chainsaw.
Yeah. I think you should. I've been at your property a few times and you have thousands of trees on your property. Thousands of trees.
Well, and a lot of them are getting that bark beetle thing. So they're coming down and it's deadfall.
On your property?
On our property.
Oh, no.
And so the best thing I can do is buck it up and use it for firewood because those trees aren't going to survive.
Well, you definitely need to know how to learn. Maybe that'll be another video for us. Right?
Maybe that'll be another video.
Maybe.
You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to ask your grandpa to teach me how to use a chainsaw.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
He's 94 years old or something now, so I don't think he's teaching anybody how to do anything anymore.
I hope he's telling telling people the story about the time his grandson almost cut his leg off.
He probably doesn't even remember that. I don't know. So, is there anything else you want to bring up while we're here before we sign off?
Nope, I think we covered it.
Yeah, I do too. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next video. Steve?
And Sarah?
Out.